Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel, where we explore the fascinating world of coins, history, and hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your collection. Today, we'll uncover the complete story of the 1975 Belgium 5-franc coin with no mint mark, a coin that many people overlook, yet it carries deep historical value, intriguing design details, and a surprising collector interest even today. Stay tuned, because we'll explore its history, composition, design, rarity, and market value in 2025, and find out whether your coin might be worth more than you think. The year was 1975. Belgium was in a period of modernization and political stability under King Baudouin I, who reigned from 1951 to 1993. During this time, the Belgian franc was the nation's primary currency, circulating throughout the country decades before the adoption of the euro. The 5-franc coin of 1975 was part of a long-running series designed to represent unity between Belgium's two major language regions, French and Flemish, as reflected by the bilingual versions of the coin, one reading Belgique and the other Belgie. Coins of this era were intended for everyday use, yet they carried remarkable artistry, symbolizing Belgium's identity and its royal heritage. The 1975 5-franc coin was struck in copper-nickel, giving it a silvery metallic appearance with strong durability suitable for daily commerce. It weighs approximately 6 grams, measures about 24 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge for texture and authenticity. On the obverse side, you'll find the elegant portrait of King Baudouin I. Facing left. His profile is detailed and regal, representing both modern leadership and traditional monarchy. The designer's signature, Rau, appears on many examples, referencing the sculptor Marcel Rau, who designed several of Belgium's mid-century coinage pieces. The reverse side displays the denomination 5FR at the center, with a small royal crown above and a stylized plant motif running vertically through the middle, a symbol of growth and national prosperity. Depending on the region, the legend Belgique or Belgie appears around the design. Unlike some other coins, this one bears no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Brussels Mint, which was the central minting facility for Belgian coins at the time. With a total mintage of around 34 million pieces, this coin was never intended to be rare in its time. It circulated widely throughout Belgium for many years, used in everyday transactions for goods, transportation, and services. However, as the decades passed and the euro replaced the Belgian franc, most of these coins were either withdrawn, melted down, or stored away in old drawers and forgotten collections. Today, while the coin itself is not considered extremely rare, finding one in mint state or uncirculated condition is becoming increasingly uncommon. Most surviving examples show signs of circulation, scratches, wear, or discoloration, which greatly affects their overall value. When we talk about rarity in coin collecting, it's not just about how many were made, it's about how many have survived in exceptional condition. The 1975 Belgium 5-franc coin attracts collectors mainly for its clean design, historical context, and bilingual variants. Coins struck with strong details, full luster, and minimal wear are significantly more valuable. Those stored carefully since the 1970s or preserved in coin albums may still retain that original mint brilliance, which can make a big difference in today's market. Uncirculated examples are often considered scarce, especially those certified by professional grading services. High-grade specimens with flawless surfaces, sharp details, and bright metal tones always draw attention from serious European coin collectors. Several factors determine how much your coin is worth. Condition: coins are graded from poor to uncirculated. The less wear your coin has, the higher the value. Eye appeal, clean surfaces, strong luster, and sharp strikes make a coin more desirable. Variety, language variants, alignment differences, or small design variations can add interest. Market demand, collector trends often rise and fall based on global interest in European and pre-Euro coins. Authenticity and preservation, coins stored in airtight holders or capsules maintain their appearance better than those exposed to moisture or handling. So, how much is the 1975 no mint mark Belgium 5-franc coin worth in 2025? While prices can vary depending on where you live and where you sell, here's a general guide based on current market trends. Heavily circulated condition typically sells for around $1 to $2, or even less. Lightly circulated or fine condition, around $3 to $5, extra fine to about uncirculated, Between $6 and $10, depending on appeal, uncirculated or mint state coins, usually range from $10 to $20, sometimes higher if certified or sold in a collector's market. Proof versions or unusual variants, if ever discovered, could command significantly more, though these are extremely uncommon for the 1975 issue. Many people hope their old coins will make them rich, but in truth, the 1975 Belgium 5-franc coin is a modestly valued collectible. Its worth lies not in its metal content or scarcity, but in its historical charm and condition quality. If you have a pristine example, especially one with full luster and no visible wear, it could certainly be worth a nice premium compared to average circulated pieces. For the majority, however, this coin serves as a beautiful reminder of Belgium's monetary history rather than a major financial treasure. If you plan to collect or sell this coin, here are some professional tips. Handle with care. Always hold coins by the edges and avoid touching the faces. Use proper storage. Keep your coins in a cool, dry place inside protective holders or coin albums. Get a professional opinion. If your coin appears uncirculated, consider professional grading to confirm its quality. Track market trends. The value of world coins can change with collector demand, so check auctions and online marketplaces periodically. Document your collection. Recording details like purchase date, condition, and provenance adds credibility and can help preserve value over time. The 1975 Belgium 5-franc coin without mint mark stands as a small but elegant piece of Belgium's monetary and artistic history. It reflects a time when craftsmanship, symbolism, and tradition met in a simple yet refined coin that circulated through the hands of millions. While it might not make you wealthy, it's a meaningful collectible that connects us to the past, and in the world of numismatics, history and preservation are often more valuable than money itself. The 1975 Belgium 1-franc coin with no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary circulation coin, but behind its simple design lies a chapter of Belgium's economic history, and for collectors, a small but meaningful piece of the past. We'll explore its history, design, rarity, and what this coin is worth today in 2025, including when it might be worth a lot more than you expect. To understand this coin, we need to travel back to Belgium in the mid-1970s. The Belgian franc, or franc Belgique, was the official currency long before the euro. In 1975, Belgium was thriving industrially and politically divided between its French and Dutch-speaking regions. Coins of that era were bilingual. Some bore the inscription Belgique in French, others Belgique in Dutch, a detail that still fascinates collectors. The 1-franc coin of 1975 was struck during the reign of King Baudouin I, who had ascended the throne in 1951. His portrait featured on many Belgian coins of the time, representing continuity and stability. The coin was designed by Marcel Rau, one of Belgium's most respected sculptors and engravers, known for his precise and classical style. This particular issue, the 1975 1-franc, was minted in cupronickel, an alloy of copper and nickel that gave the coin its distinctive silvery appearance. It weighed around 4 grams and measured about 21 millimeters in diameter. Its edge was finely reeded, and it bore the simple yet elegant denomination 1FR on the reverse, along with the national title Belgique or Belgie. The 1975 1-franc coin was produced at the Brussels Mint, which at that time did not use a specific mint mark for standard circulation strikes. This is why the coin appears without mint mark. Many new collectors often assume that the lack of a mint mark makes the coin rare or a special variety, but in this case, it was entirely normal. Production numbers were high, tens of millions were struck for circulation, meaning that the coin was common in everyday use. However, as time passed and Belgium adopted the euro in 2002, these coins disappeared from pockets and purses, either melted down or tucked away in drawers as keepsakes. Over the decades, uncirculated examples became scarcer, while those still in circulation often show heavy wear. For the 1975 issue, collectors recognized 2 language varieties, one in French and another in Dutch. Both were legal tender across the country, and both carry roughly equal value. The real point of interest lies in die varieties, misstrikes, and errors. A few examples are known with slightly off-center strikes or doubling in the legends, and those can attract extra attention from collectors. The standard coins, however, are classified as common. This means that although they are not rare in a strict numismatic sense, their value can rise depending on condition and presentation. When assessing the value of any coin, condition is everything. A well-worn 1975 1 franc coin, the kind that passed through countless hands in cafes and shops, usually has minimal collector value. But an example preserved in uncirculated or mint state condition, with full detail and original luster, is another story. Coins in fine or very fine condition typically trade for just a few cents or rupees, mostly sentimental or educational value. Extremely fine examples might be worth a few tenths of a dollar, and uncirculated or mint state specimens, especially if graded and encapsulated, can reach a few dollars or more depending on the buyer and demand. Error coins or misstrikes, particularly if visually striking, can sell for much higher sums depending on rarity and eye appeal. Now let's talk about what collectors are actually paying in 2025. The overall market for Belgian coins remains stable but modest. Common circulation strikes like the 1975 1 franc have small but steady demand from world coin enthusiasts, particularly those completing year sets or collecting European pre-Euro coins in circulated condition. The 1975 Belgium 1 franc usually sells for the equivalent of around 20 cents to $1 US, depending on quality and the variant. Coins in pristine uncirculated condition, or those included in official mint sets, can fetch slightly higher values, sometimes up to a few dollars if perfectly preserved. While that may not sound like much, remember that the value of such coins lies not in their metal but in their story, a relic of Belgium's national identity before the Euro era. For collectors outside Europe, such as in South Asia or North America, these coins often sell at small premiums simply because of shipping costs and their relative scarcity in local markets. There are a few situations where this modest coin could be worth considerably more. Error coins, a genuine mint error, for example, an off-center strike, double die, or clipped planchet, can increase value significantly. Error collectors are willing to pay well above standard catalog prices for dramatic flaws, proof or specimen strikes. Occasionally, proof or specially prepared examples were made for collectors. These have mirrored fields, sharper details, and command higher values. High-grade certified examples, coins graded by professional services in mint state 65 or above often sell for higher prices simply because perfect strikes from this era are harder to find. Complete sets, a full Belgian franc set from the 1970s, including the 1 franc 1975 issue, may be worth far more than the individual coin, especially if all are uncirculated and housed in a presentation case. If you own one of these coins, keep it in a dry, cool place away from moisture. Never polish or clean it. Cleaning removes original metal and luster, reducing value. Use coin holders or clear capsules to protect the surface from scratches. For those who collect world coins, the Belgian 1 franc is an excellent starting point. It's affordable, historically meaningful, and shows the craftsmanship typical of mid-20th century European coinage. If you want to sell it, online marketplaces or local coin groups can help you reach interested buyers. When listing, include clear photos showing both sides, note the language variety, and mention whether there are any visible errors or unique features. Beyond monetary worth, the 1975 Belgium 1 franc coin symbolizes a bridge between eras. It represents a post-war Europe that was rebuilding economically and socially, long before the European Union and the introduction of the euro. It also reflects Belgium's dual-language heritage and its unity in diversity. Each surviving coin, even a simple 1 franc piece, carries traces of those who used it, perhaps in a café in Brussels, a market in Antwerp, or a shop in Liège. In that sense, its real value lies in its story. So, what's the final verdict? The 1975 no-mint mark Belgium 1 franc coin is not an extremely rare or high-value coin, but it remains an appealing and historic piece of European numismatics. Its current market value in 2025 ranges roughly between 20 cents and $1 for common examples, with higher premiums for uncirculated, error, or proof pieces. As time goes on, pristine examples will continue to disappear, and demand for pre-Euro European coins will likely grow among new collectors who never use this currency in daily life. While it may never be worth a fortune, it serves as a timeless reminder of Belgium's monetary history and artistic heritage. The 1984 50 Centimo coin, a small but fascinating piece of the nation's currency history. This coin might look simple at first glance, but it carries an interesting story of design, heritage, and a bit of mystery, especially when collectors mention the no-mint mark variety. We'll dive deep into the history of this coin, the reason behind its design, how rare it really is, how much it's worth today, and what its potential value could be in 2025 and beyond. So, if you're a collector, investor, or simply someone curious about the coins in your change jar, stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin deserves a closer look. Let's start by going back to the early 1980s. The Philippines was undergoing a series of monetary redesigns to modernize its currency and reflect national identity. In 1983, the Central Bank of the Philippines launched the Flora and Fauna series, replacing the old coin designs with a new set that featured national heroes and native wildlife. The 50 Centimo coin of 1984 belongs to this very series. On the obverse side, the coin proudly displays the portrait of Marcelo H. del Pilar, a prominent writer, lawyer, and revolutionary reformist. He's known as one of the key figures who helped ignite the Filipino spirit for freedom during Spanish rule. On the reverse side, the coin features the majestic Philippine eagle, one of the rarest and most powerful birds in the world, symbolizing strength, independence, and pride. Along with the denomination, 50 Centimo, and the country's name, Republica ng Pilipinas, the design perfectly balanced the themes of national identity and natural heritage. The 1984 50 Centimo coin is made of copper nickel, giving it a silvery appearance with good durability for circulation. It weighs about 6 grams and measures roughly 25 millimeters in diameter. The coin has a plain edge, and most examples show excellent engraving details on both sides when in uncirculated condition. One notable feature of this issue is the absence of a mint mark. Many coins produced during this period were minted without any mint mark, meaning there's no small letter or symbol beneath the date. This has sometimes led to the nickname, no mint mark 50 Centimo, which can sound mysterious to new collectors, but in reality, this was the standard design for that year's mintage. Now, let's talk about how many were made. The 1984 50 Centimo had a very high mintage, over 100 million pieces were struck for circulation. Because of this large production, it was a common coin during the 1980s and early 1990s, found in daily transactions across the country. However, after the coin reforms of the mid-1990s, most of these coins were eventually withdrawn, melted down, or simply lost through circulation wear. As a result, finding one today in pristine condition, especially in uncirculated or near uncirculated state, has become significantly harder. That's where its collectible appeal begins to grow. At first glance, you might think a coin with over 100 million pieces minted can't be rare. But rarity in coin collecting doesn't always depend on how many were made, it depends on how many survived in good condition. Most of these coins were heavily used for years, leaving them scratched, discolored, or worn smooth. So while lower-grade examples are easy to find, truly high-grade specimens with sharp details, full luster, and no cleaning marks are much scarcer. Collectors especially value coins with original mint shine and well-preserved surfaces. Those who build complete sets of the Flora and Fauna series often seek out each denomination and year in the best possible condition, which increases demand for the 1984 50 Centimo. It's also worth mentioning that, occasionally, unique varieties or minting errors appear, for example, off-center strikes or doubled lettering. These are not common, but when discovered, they can raise the coin's value dramatically. Now for the part everyone's been waiting for: how much is the 1984 no mint mark 50 Centimo coin actually worth today, and what is its current market value in 2025? As of this year, the coin's value depends almost entirely on its condition and presentation. In average circulated condition, where signs of wear are clearly visible, the coin typically trades for less than $1, often just a few Philippine pesos above face value. In well-preserved condition, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated grades, collectors may pay between $1 and $5. If you are lucky enough to own a fully uncirculated specimen with strong details and full mint luster, the price can rise to $10 or even $15, depending on the Collectors' interest and market demand, special varieties, error coins, or coins certified by professional grading services can reach higher prices, sometimes in the range of $20 or more, particularly when sold through specialized auctions or numismatic fairs. When converted into Philippine pesos, that's roughly between 50 and 900 pesos, depending on condition and rarity. So while this coin won't make you rich overnight, it can certainly hold respectable collector value, especially for those building a complete historical set. If you own or plan to collect this coin, here are a few helpful tips. Check the condition carefully. Look for wear on the eagle's feathers and the details of Marcelo H. del Pilar's portrait. These are the first areas to lose detail. Avoid polished coins. Cleaning may make a coin shine, but it actually reduces collector value significantly. Store properly. Keep your coins in protective holders or coin capsules to prevent scratches and oxidation. Watch for errors or unusual varieties. A small difference in design, thickness, or strike can make a huge difference in value. Do your research before selling. Prices can vary between dealers and online platforms, so always compare offers. To summarize, the 1984 50 centimo coin from the Philippines may not be extremely rare in total numbers, but its historical background, attractive design, and difficulty in finding high-grade examples make it an interesting collectible. It represents a snapshot of the Philippines during the early 1980s, a time of cultural pride and national symbolism reflected in its currency. For collectors, it's a beautiful reminder of that era, combining the legacy of Marcelo H. del Pilar with the strength of the Philippine eagle. In 2025, this coin remains affordable but meaningful, a small, tangible link to history that continues to fascinate both beginner and experienced numismatists. The 1957 5 pesetas coin with no visible mint mark. At first glance, it looks like a simple piece of mid-century Spanish coinage, but there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. From its fascinating historical background to its rare variations that can fetch thousands of euros, this is a coin that deserves a closer look. We'll cover its full history, design details, minting background, the truth behind its rarity, and of course, the coin's current market value and worth in 2025. So make sure you stay until the end of the video, because the smallest detail on this coin could make the difference between a common piece worth a few euros and a rare treasure worth a fortune. The 1957 Spain 5 pesetas coin was minted during the dictatorship of Francisco Franco, a time when Spain was rebuilding from the Civil War and slowly modernizing its economy. The peseta was the standard national currency, and the 5 pesetas coin represented a higher denomination, often associated with stability and pride in the country's reborn monetary system. Although the coin displays the date 1957, that number does not always indicate the year it was actually produced. During the Franco era, Spain used a unique dating system. The date on the front of the coin referred to the authorization of the design, while the real year of minting was hidden in a small six-pointed star on the reverse side of the coin. For example, you might see a coin marked 1957 on the front, but if you look carefully at the small star near the edge of the reverse, you may find digits like 58, 59, 60, or even 61. These numbers represent the actual year the coin was minted. On the obverse, or front side, you'll find the right-facing portrait of Francisco Franco, the Spanish head of state from 1939 to 1975. Around his profile runs the inscription, Francisco Franco Caudillo de España por la gracia de Dios, which translates to, Francisco Franco, leader of Spain by the grace of God. Beneath his neck is the date 1957, the year of the coin's authorization. On the reverse, you'll find the coat of arms of Spain during the Franco regime, dominated by the Great Eagle of St. John, the traditional heraldic symbol of Spain's unity. The denomination, 5 tas, sits prominently, while the national motto, Una Grande Libre, meaning, 1, great and free, appears below. The coin is made of a copper-nickel alloy, weighs about 5.75 grams, and has a diameter of approximately 23 millimeters. Its edge is reeded, and the finish ranges from lightly worn to fully uncirculated depending on how it was preserved. One of the most fascinating aspects of this coin is the no mint mark variation. Most Spanish coins from this era have a tiny star on the reverse that shows the real year of production. However, some pieces have no visible star or mint mark at all. These are often the result of die deterioration, weak striking, or variations during production. Collectors refer to these as no mint mark or no star coins, and while they can appear in circulation, they are less common than standard issues. In the collector's market, this subtle difference can make them more interesting and sometimes more valuable, particularly in high grades. The 5 pesetas coin of 1957 was produced in large quantities, as Spain needed durable circulating currency for its growing economy. Over 100 million coins were minted across different years under the 1957 design authorization, including those bearing stars with the years 58, 59, 60, 61, and beyond. Because of this high mintage, most of these coins are considered common in circulated grades. However, the story changes dramatically when we talk about variance and preservation quality. Some coins have small variations such as double strikes, minor alignment errors, or missing mint marks. A few experimental pieces, proof strikes, or special issues with alternative mint markings are considered extremely rare, with only a few thousand known examples. These can fetch extraordinary prices among serious numismatists. The value of the 1957 no mint mark Spain 5 pesetas coin depends on several important factors: rarity. Coins with no mint mark, proof strikes, or special production runs are significantly scarcer than regular issues. Condition. As always in numismatics, condition is everything. A coin that has been in circulation and shows scratches or wear may only be worth a few euros, while a perfectly preserved uncirculated example can be worth 50 times as much. Historical interest. Coins from the Franco era attract both historical collectors and investors who appreciate the story behind them. Market demand. Values rise when more collectors focus on this specific series, especially when high-grade examples become harder to find. Authenticity and verification. A coin that has been professionally graded or certified by a reputable grading service often commands a higher price because buyers can be sure of its authenticity and condition. Now let's discuss what everyone wants to know: how much is this coin worth in 2025? For most regular 1957 5 pesetas coins that show moderate circulation wear, the value typically falls between 2 and 10 euros, or the equivalent in US dollars. These are the most common examples found in drawers, flea markets, and family collections. Coins that are in extra fine or almost uncirculated condition tend to sell for around 20 to 50 euros, depending on eye appeal and whether the star date is one of the less common years such as 58. High-grade uncirculated pieces, especially those showing full detail, bright surfaces, and no mint mark or with very crisp strike quality, can reach 80 to 150 euros. Finally, there are the exceptional rarities, coins with confirmed minting errors, proof-like surfaces, or unique variants. These can sell in auctions for several thousand euros, and in extremely rare cases, certain specimens have achieved five-figure prices when collectors compete for the best examples known. In 2025, the coin market remained strong for historical European issues, and the 5 pesetas series from the mid-20th century continues to attract both seasoned collectors and newcomers looking for affordable yet meaningful pieces of Spanish history. If you own a 1957 5 pesetas coin, here are a few quick steps to check its potential value. Inspect the reverse for the small star near the edge. If there is no star, you may have a no mint mark variety. Check the coin's surface under good lighting. Look for mint luster, scratches, or wear. These tell you the grade. Weigh and measure it if possible, to make sure it matches standard specifications. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can reduce its value dramatically. If the coin looks exceptionally well preserved or different from others, consider having it professionally graded or appraised. Beyond its monetary value, this coin is a window into a unique chapter of Spain's modern history. It represents a time when the country was reshaping its identity after years of turmoil. The imagery of Franco and the national coat of arms reflects the political ideology and national pride of the era. Collectors appreciate it for its historical symbolism, durable metal composition, and the thrill of discovering small variations that turn a common coin into a rare collectible. It's an excellent example of how even modern-era coins can tell stories that connect economics, politics, and art. To sum it all up, the 1957 no mint mark Spain 5 pesetas coin remains one of the most interesting collectible coins of mid-century Europe. Most examples are common and hold modest value, generally a few euros. Well-preserved coins in uncirculated condition can bring significantly more, often between 50 and 150 euros. Rare variants or error coins may reach into the thousands, especially when authenticated and sold in competitive auctions. In 2025, the value of these coins continues to grow gradually, especially for high-quality or rare varieties. Whether you're a serious collector or just discovering an old Spanish coin in a family box, this piece is a tangible reminder of Spain's complex history and its journey through the 20th century. The 1975 5 pesetas coin belongs to a period of major change in Spain's history. The year 1975 marked the end of the Franco dictatorship and the beginning of the modern Spanish monarchy under King Juan Carlos I. During this time, Spain's national mint, officially known as the Fábrica Nacional de Moneda y Timbre, continued to produce coins that were authorized under previous decrees, meaning the year on the coin, 1975, was not always the actual year of minting. This practice is known as frozen dating. As a result, many coins bearing the date 1975 were actually struck over several subsequent years, from 1975 through 1978. This was done to simplify minting procedures during Spain's political transition. The design of the 1975 5 pesetas coin is simple, elegant, and distinctly Spanish. On the obverse side, you'll find the portrait of King Juan Carlos I, facing right, surrounded by the inscription, Juan Carlos I Rey de España. This design represented the beginning of a new royal era following Franco's death. The reverse side features the Spanish coat of arms, with the face value, 5 tas, inscribed prominently. Beneath the shield is a small 5-pointed star, and that tiny detail is where the story gets very interesting. Under normal circumstances, the star contains 2 small digits, the mint mark, indicating the actual year the coin was produced. For example, coins marked 19 to 75, 19 to 76, 19 to 77, or 19 to 78 are all part of the same authorization but struck in different years. However, the rare variety of this coin shows a blank star with no numbers inside, the famous 1975 no mint mark version. The missing mint mark is believed to have resulted from a minting preparation error. When dies were being engraved, a few were either accidentally left unfinished or used before the mint mark numbers were added. These blank dies produced a small batch of coins with a star showing no numbers inside. Because quality control at the time was less automated than it is today, a limited number of these error coins made it into general circulation. The mint likely caught the mistake quickly, but by then, some examples had already been distributed and used in everyday transactions. Over the decades, most of these coins disappeared into circulation, were worn down, or melted, leaving only a handful of surviving examples in collectible condition. The 1975 no mint mark 5 pesetas coin is considered one of the most desirable modern Spanish coins because of its low survival rate and its connection to a pivotal moment in Spain's history. While millions of regular 1975 5 pesetas coins exist with visible mint marks, the no mint mark version is estimated to exist in only a few hundred examples. Collectors prize it not only as a minting anomaly but also as a symbol of Spain's transition from dictatorship to democracy. The combination of historical context and mechanical error gives it a unique place in 20th century numismatics. Because of its rarity, demand for this coin has grown steadily among both Spanish and international collectors, especially as more people discover its story through online markets and collector communities. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: how much this coin is worth today. As of 2025, the value of the 1975 no mint mark Spain 5 pesetas coin has continued to rise. Due to growing awareness and limited supply, a circulated example typically sells for 300 to 500 euros, depending on overall condition and clarity of details. Coins in extremely fine condition can command 600 to 900 euros, while about uncirculated or mint state examples, especially those verified and graded by professional services, can sell for anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 euros, and sometimes even more. Exceptional specimens with full details and minimal wear have been known to reach over 2,000 euros in specialized auctions or collector sales. These prices continue to increase gradually each year, reflecting the coin's growing recognition and scarcity. Because of its high value, it's very important to know how to identify an authentic example and avoid confusion with altered or damaged coins. Here's what to look for. Step 1. Examine the small 5-pointed star on the reverse side of the coin. On most regular issues, you'll see small digits inside, for example, 75, 77, or 78. Step 2, on the no mint mark version, that star is completely blank, smooth and free of any numbers, even under magnification. Step 3, verify the coin specifications. The weight should be about 5.75 grams, the diameter 23 millimeters, and the metal composition a cupronickel alloy. Step 4, avoid coins that appear to have been tampered with. Some counterfeiters attempt to polish or erase mint marks to imitate this variety. A genuine blank star shows even, natural surfaces with no visible signs of alteration. If in doubt, always have the coin authenticated by a trusted numismatic expert or grading service. The 1975 no mint mark Spain 5 Pesetas coin offers a fascinating combination of historical significance, rarity, and collector appeal. It's not just a minting error. It's a reflection of Spain's transformation from the Franco era to a modern constitutional monarchy. Coins that capture historical change often perform well in the collector market because they tell a meaningful story. As of 2025, this coin remains a strong choice for collectors and investors focusing on European minting varieties, modern errors, and transitional designs. Its value is likely to continue appreciating as available examples diminish and awareness increases. The 1975 no mint mark Spain 5 Pesetas coin may be small in size, but it carries immense historical and collectible importance. Born from a period of political transition and shaped by a rare minting oversight, it stands today as one of the most intriguing coins in Spanish numismatics, with values reaching well over €1,000 for high-grade examples. This coin has proven to be both a remarkable collectible and a smart long-term investment. So if you ever come across a 1975 5 Pesetas coin, take a close look at that tiny star, because that little blank space could mean the difference between a common coin and a hidden treasure. The 1979 Italian 100 lire with no mint mark, this coin has stirred curiosity among numismatists and collectors around the world for decades. Is it rare? How much is it worth? And why are some examples fetching surprisingly high prices? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything about its origin, design, rarity, and its true market value in 2025. To understand the importance of the 1979 100 lire, we first need to go back in time. During the late 1970s, Italy was going through a period of economic adjustment and modernization. The Italian lira was still the nation's proud currency. Long before the introduction of the euro, the 100 lire coin was one of the most recognizable and widely used denominations in everyday transactions. Introduced in the early 1950s, it symbolized Italy's post-war rebirth, sturdy, modern, and distinctly Italian in design. By 1979, millions of these coins were produced, but something unusual happened that year. A small number appeared to lack the typical mint mark R, which normally stood for the Rome Mint. For collectors, the absence of that mint mark created intrigue and led to the search for the so-called no mint mark variety. Over time, these coins became a minor but fascinating mystery in the world of Italian numismatics. The 1979 Italian 100 lire coin is a beautiful representation of Italy's mid-20th century coin design philosophy. Simple, elegant, and symbolic, the obverse side, or front, depicts the head of a female figure facing left. Her hair is braided and arranged with classical grace, representing the Italian Republic and the agricultural richness of the nation. Around the edge are the words, Repubblica Italiana. On the reverse, the design is equally meaningful. It shows a cow suckling her calf, a scene that represents nourishment, care, and the agricultural foundation of society. Above it, the face value, L.100, is clearly displayed, and below it, the date 1979. Typically, to the left of the design, a small R mint mark would appear, denoting the Rome Mint. However, in the rare, no mint mark examples, that letter is missing, giving rise to their collectible status. The coin is made of agmonitol, an Italian stainless steel alloy known for its durability and silver-gray finish. It measures about 27.8 millimeters in diameter, weighs around 8 grams, and features a reeded edge. Its metallic composition ensured long life in circulation and a distinctive ring when dropped, something collectors instantly recognize. Now let's focus on what makes this particular coin so interesting. the missing mint mark.in standard production. Every 100 lire coin from Italy should have carried the small r, identifying the Rome mint. However, a small batch from 1979 appears to have been struck without it. The most likely explanation is that the mint mark on one or more dies was accidentally omitted, worn out, or polished away during maintenance. Since quality control at that time was primarily visual, some of these coins entered circulation before the mistake was discovered. These no mint mark coins quickly caught the attention of collectors. Over time, they became known as a distinct variety, not an officially recognized commemorative, but an error coin valued for its rarity and curiosity. The total number of surviving pieces is unknown, but experts believe it to be very small compared to the regular mintage of hundreds of millions. That's what makes finding one such an exciting event for a coin collector. When it comes to rarity, context is key. The standard 1979 100 lire coin is extremely common. Tens of millions were minted, and even today, they can still be found in bulk lots and collections for very little money. However, the no mint mark variation changes everything. Coins missing there are far less common, and genuine examples in high grade are sought after by serious collectors of Italian coins and world mint errors. That said, as with any variety, rarity alone doesn't always equal massive value. Authenticity and condition play an enormous role. A genuine, uncirculated example of the 1979 no mint mark coin will always command a premium, but worn, circulated examples may still be relatively affordable. Let's talk numbers. What is this coin actually worth in today's market? In 2025, for the standard 1979 100 lire coin with the R mint mark, the value is generally modest. Circulated pieces are worth only a few cents, while fully uncirculated examples might reach a few dollars at most. However, for the no mint mark variety, the story changes depending on condition, provenance, and market demand. These coins can range from $10 to $50 in circulated grades, and in pristine, mint state condition, they can reach over $100 in specialized auctions or private sales. Exceptional examples that are authenticated, graded, and certified by reputable grading services can sometimes exceed those figures, particularly if there is documented proof of the missing mint mark rather than simple wear or damage. Of course, like all collectibles, values fluctuate depending on collector interest and economic conditions. In 2025, the market remains stable, with consistent interest in Italian pre-Euro coins, especially unique varieties like this one. If you believe you have a 1979 no mint mark 100 lire coin, authentication is essential. First, inspect the area where the mint mark R should appear, to the left of the reverse design. Under magnification, a genuine missing mark variety will show no trace of the letter at all. If you see a faint shadow or polished area, it might simply be a worn or damaged regular coin. Weighing and measuring the coin is also recommended. It should match the standard weight and diameter closely. Any major deviation might indicate damage or alteration. For high-value specimens, professional grading by a numismatic authority is the safest way to confirm authenticity and preserve its collectible value. From an investment point of view, the 1979 no mint mark 100 lire is not a guaranteed high-value coin, but it does represent an intriguing niche in Italian coinage. Because it's an error variety, its value depends largely on how many genuine examples are eventually verified. If only a few remain confirmed, its long-term value could continue to rise. Moreover, collectors who specialize in Italian coins or error coins often seek these out to complete their sets, meaning demand is steady rather than speculative. If you already own one, it's worth keeping in a protective holder, free from moisture and scratches. Even if it doesn't make you rich, it's a fascinating conversation piece and a tangible connection to Italy's pre-Euro era. To wrap up, the 1979 no mint mark Italian 100 lire coin is a small but remarkable piece of numismatic history. It tells the story of Italian craftsmanship, minting precision, and the occasional human error that turns an ordinary coin into a collector's treasure. While most 1979 100 lire coins remain common and inexpensive, the elusive no mint mark version stands out as a curiosity, rare, intriguing, and historically meaningful. In 2025, its value continues to depend on condition, demand, and authenticity, but its charm remains timeless. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned numismatist, finding one in your collection is always a moment of excitement. Thank you for watching today's deep dive into the 1979 no-mint mark Italian 100 lire coin. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating stories behind them. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and remember, every coin has a story to tell.